Andy, I'm just so happy to have you here. Welcome here. Thanks for coming to this event. The StockPulse Silver Symposium has always been about silver, junior mining resources, and the silver industry as a whole. I came last year for my first time. I learned about Andy Schectman, and here I am. Rob called it something like, he said it's a non-hostile takeover. Like all of a sudden we kind of just married StockPulse and SatPulse. You're asking what is SatPulse? Everyone's going, what is SatPulse? Well, the idea is we brought Bitcoin to the Silver Symposium. We went to BRIC and we saw the same thing happen there. Robert Kiyosaki was there. They were talking about gold, silver, or Bitcoin. It always comes down to Bitcoin is in this conversation now. And getting to have this conversation with you on stage was pretty awesome, considering BRICS. So I guess what I want to ask you here is just your honest feedback. How'd it go? What did you think? What was your favorite part of the event? What did you like?
Well, first of all, it was really an honor to be here, Patrick. You're a good guy and a genuine person, and to me, that's what attracts me. I've learned that what makes you successful is whom you associate with, and the more you can associate yourself around good people, the more successful you become. And one thing that I really take away from this event, more than anything really, is the sense of community. That I've been to a lot of conferences, but I have yet to feel the sense of community that I have felt here with all of the people who are just so enthusiastic about what's going on here and happy to share and appreciative and just nice people that you'd want to go share a beer with out on the casino floor. And that's what sticks out to me here. You know, a conference is a conference. Everyone's is talking about things, but it seems that the message here, whether it be about metals or crypto, we're all speaking the same thing. We're all getting to the same point. We're all trying to figure things out in a way where it's not either or. It's both. And it doesn't have to be all gold and silver. It doesn't have to be all Bitcoin. In fact, we should all
shouldn't be.
Yes, we should. You should have allocations to all of it and understand the arguments on all of it. And that's what you guys have done a really great job in doing, is not making it, well, it should be this and not this. It's saying, hey, we should have some of this and some of this and some of this, and here's why. And the people here really, I think, are appreciative of that.
And I think my argument isn't even that you should own Bitcoin or that you should own gold or silver. My argument is you should learn about what there is and make the right decision for you. I remember, especially as I've been through this industry change, going from interviewing a lot of these junior mining resource companies, some of them want to talk about uranium and platinum and these other precious resources, and it's a great conversation. But as you transition into the idea of Bitcoin, right, you want to think about it holistically. You can't just consider one piece of the pie. You must consider a diverse portfolio, but you also need to learn about it. It's very hard to get into anything if you don't take time to learn about it. And I think today it was great because you got a lot of questions, people asking, throw a hole in Bitcoin, tell me how this doesn't work. And everyone on stage says the same thing. The reality is sort of a nuclear incident or energy going out globally. We know Bitcoin is here to stay, but at the end of the day, we have this beauty in our communities together. It's the networking that we get to do. There are people that love you, people that love Ninja, people that love Joe, people that loved Uneducated Economists, people that loved G. Edward Griffin. I mean, gosh, we had G. Edward Griffin here. That was amazing to have the OG here and hear him talk, and it's just been a really great time. But the reality is you must, and I can't even say this, if I'm gonna be on camera, I have to say it, you must consider silver and gold as part of your financial portfolio. You must, because if you don't, it really is that moat that you're talking about. If Bitcoin goes down for any undetermined amount of time, let's say the power does go out, I'm not naive enough to say that there's no way Bitcoin would still work there, right? So you still need an alternative way to transact. We still value silver together. It's one of the beauties that we have together. The first crypto commandment is what? The dollar is garbage. We get that. Fiat is garbage. The second one is we choose the freedom mindset. And that's what we did here. All we did was educate people. We didn't want to have a big salesy event. What we wanted to do was share the resources available, share our friends.
And I agree with that. You know, you used to be the country I grew up in, you weren't defined by who you voted for. You could have a discussion, even if it wasn't, you know, something that you agreed with, or if you didn't understand it, or you were married to your own ideology, you would listen. And if you never listen to other viewpoints, you never grow. You learn more and more about less and less till you know everything about nothing. And that's what I take away from this conference, and from the way that you conduct yourself. You are someone who is a Bitcoin enthusiast, yet you are open to discussions on other areas. I am someone who is a metals enthusiast, because I am open to discussions in other areas. And that's what makes you whole, that's what makes you smart, that's what makes you wise, and that's what allows you to look at the world from a different view rather than just your own. And I take that away from this conference, which is very unusual, because most conferences you go to, it's one or the other. This isn't, and I think that's very intuitive. It's right, and it's what will unite these two communities that, in reality, the argument is the same, cut from the same cloth. The dollar's in trouble, and you need something that is universally accepted as wealth. Bitcoin is, gold and silver are, so it doesn't have to be one or the other, and it should be both, and I appreciate that. I really have enjoyed getting to know the people here, and I think you and Rob and Gina have done an amazing job, and I'm honored to be here. I can't wait to come back next year and promote it every day moving forward until next year, because that's how this community should be. It should be a holistic community rather than just the gold bugs or just the crypto guys. We're all doing the same thing. We're all pointing in the same direction, and so, you know, a little bit more well-rounded portfolio and understanding of the reasons behind both. To me, it's just smart, and it's very unusual in my experience in these conferences. So kudos to you and Rob and Gina for putting on a great show and to allowing people to see both sides of the coin, not just one.
And for you guys who are here and able to watch right now, please do us a favor, like, share, subscribe. I have like 200 followers right now, and I find it very funny because I'm not a guy who likes to create a ton of content. When I have content, I think it should be something that people would want to listen to, not just something, because I don't really actually like doing videos. You know, watching Ninja these days, watching Jack, I mean, these guys are really sharp, and they are on the money, and they are fast, and these guys are always hustling, and I'm going, I don't know how to do that kind of game that fast.
Oh, I think you actually kind of do.
I don't want to do that game that fast. I like to do things the right way, on the fly. I'm really kind of unfiltered. I'll probably get in trouble every once in a while because I do love guns as well, and I love my family a little too much, so I may have quite a little perspective that may get people riled up as to try to tell me what to do with my kids, and we'll have a different discussion. You've seen a different side of Patrick, but it will be raw and authentic. So for you guys who are watching, and especially Andy, I want to ask you one question too. We talked about bricks today. That was rich.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a very rich session.
And all sides of the equation, not just mine, but there were different opinions and different ways of looking at it, which to me is what this whole conference has been about. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, I thought it was great.
No, there's no interruption, because the reality is we're going to have probably links to all this content so that people can see it themselves. I know people want to know, how do we get a hold of Andy, and how do we find the video that you just did? So I don't know exactly how they're going to plan to do that, but there'll probably be information, probably in a link below somewhere, that they're going to tell us how to do that, because I know that, to me, it's not about the money. It's about getting the content and the information out as quickly as possible. Because the idea that we are sharing today is, so what? What do we do now that we know all this is coming? And to summarize, you said it best. Have a little bit of everything. Be wise. Diversify. But make sure that you have gold and silver, because that will be your moat. And I can't disagree with you. Even as a Bitcoin maximalist, we all need a friend like Andy Schectman and Miles and Franklin. So thank you, Andy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, Patrick, I appreciate it as well, and I appreciate our growing friendship, and you're one of the good guys. And you know, real quick as I head out of here, I had a YouTube channel for a long time. It's kind of been mothballed. We have enough subscribers to go live. I just bought all the equipment to start doing them myself, and I can't think of a better first person to bring on. And be authentic and talk about both sides of the coin, because to me that's what makes a conference or a discussion or a friendship or anything legit, is having enough respect to your friend or your business associate or the conference that you're going to or the people you're listening to understand and try and understand the other side of the equation. Because I'll tell you what, if you're accused of murder and you go to an attorney to defend you for your life, you better hope he understands both sides of the story, not just your side. And I think the same thing is true here. In a weird sort of way, it's really I have gotten the most out of this conference is that approach. And so when I get that YouTube channel up and running in the next couple of weeks, you might be the very first, in fact, you will be the first person I call, and we'll have a nice discussion.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks for having me here,
thank
buddy.
you so much,
Yeah,
Andy. I love you, man.
You too, bro. Thanks.